Hi, my name is Carrie Meyer and I'm a certified SomaYoga therapist. My credentialing body is the International Association of Yoga Therapy and my specialty is pain resolution. My sessions, as you can see, are one-on-one clinical sessions that blend somatic neuromuscular reeducation with the therapeutic aspects of yoga. Essentially, what makes this practice distinct is that we're targeting changes at the root where the patterns are held in the brain and the nervous system. In many traditional approaches, a client will receive a treatment, yet the holding patterns behind the pain, the tension, the anxiety, or overwhelm are actually driven by the brain and the nervous system. So that's the conundrum. So if a client is looking to truly change the symptomology, then it's really important that the client learn how to work with the nervous system and the brain, or essentially change the software, not just the structure of the body. These sessions being one-on-one, they're nervous system focused, and as I mentioned, they're brain retraining, and we work with somatic repatterning. So what happens in a private session? I teach targeted, what we call vagal reset practices that support healthy vagal tone for a client. Because the vagus nerve is the major pathway or longest nerve in the body that is responsible for being able to shift us out of fight or flight. Now in today's society, most people are stuck in fight or flight or nervous system sensitization. And as I mentioned earlier, that leads to a whole suite of symptoms, from anxiety to pain to tension in the body, restless sleep, digestive issues. I could name a ton. So what's interesting about a one-on-one session is that I'm teaching clients specific techniques to work with the vagus nerve. I'm teaching them specific breathing techniques, nervous system based practices. It might involve the tongue, it might involve self-massage, in order to shift the nervous system towards rest and digest. So these practices are very powerful and help the nervous system learn how to feel safe once again. And when the nervous system starts to feel safety, it can downgrade from that sympathetic dominance towards rest and digest. And we can only heal in an environment where we're in that rest and digest parasympathetic response. So the practices that I mentioned that I work with clients can include breathing, can include vagal resets, they can include humming, they can include gentle self-massage. We also do a lot of work around the tongue, the jaw, the neck, the face, because this whole area is tied to sympathetic dominance or rest and digest. And then I teach clients to go deeper. Then we work into neuromuscular patterns. And what we're doing is we're assessing and then neutralizing three major reflex patterns that the body can show up in. The one that was most common is this red light pattern where we kind of collapse forward, rounded shoulders. We don't sit tall anymore. That reflex pattern is our deepest innate protection mechanism that is brought on by accumulated stress or trauma. The second reflex pattern is called the green light pattern. It's one where we end up being in like a military posture where we have a lot of chronic low back pain or tension, compressed discs, sciatica, plantar fasciitis. Those are all some of the common symptoms. And then the third reflex that we look at is what we call a trauma pattern. It's where we are either uneven in our hips and our shoulders, or we have a rotation in the body. And those traumas that are the onset of those physical presentations can be emotional, they can be physical, they can be something that we're not even aware of. It can be a perceived danger to the nervous system. So that last piece of these sessions is starting to learn how to re-educate and reset the resting length of muscles within the trunk of the body, which will then restore functional posture, breathing, movement, and start to get bodies back and the nervous system back to a place where they feel self-sufficient, resilient, and strong. It's important to understand that when these reflex patterns or the nervous system becomes stuck in overdrive or fight or flight, it will show up as many common symptoms, right? So we We then have a nervous system that's displaying pain, or we have a lot of headaches or fatigue or anxiety or brain fog. We feel a lot of overwhelm, and then we get stuck in this loop over and over and over. So if you come in for a session with me, what does that look like? The initial intake is 90 minutes, where we'll go over a detailed health history of symptoms and start to address the nervous system. And I'll do a lot of education around why the symptomology is showing up and how that relates to the nervous system being in overdrive and these reflex patterns. And then follow-up sessions are also 90 minutes. And the reason for that is that it takes the body time to unwind from that constant doing, from being in sympathetic dominance. So the nervous system has to learn how to slow down, and it has to be shown safety in order to rest and digest. As people spend time in a session and as the nervous system downgrades or shifts into more regulation, what we're going to notice is that the breathing slows, muscle tension will start to melt away, so the muscles will start to soften, or muscle guarding will release. The mind will get quieter, and we'll actually start to hear the digestive system kick in. Those are telltale signs that the nervous system is now shifted into a parasympathetic response, which is the environment for healing. When regulation improves, everything improves. Posture changes, breath changes, movement changes, and how someone shows up at work changes. So that means better decision making, less reactivity, more resilience, more presence in relationships and in communication. That's why I'm proposing a wellness account option being given to Yukon Government employees to prevent nervous system overdrive, to regulate the system, to teach people how to reduce and manage their health from a nervous system perspective. And this over the long term will reduce downstream healthcare costs while improving employees' capacity and enjoyment at work, but also in life. In this proposal, I'm including several letters of support from clients who have worked with me, in some cases for over 5 years, who choose this modality as their modality of choice to help them release stress, change chronic pain patterns, neuromuscular pain, movement problems, problems with sleep, problem with lymphatics and digestion. Clients report all kinds of changes in their bodies and in their minds. And so I really do hope that you'll consider adding a wellness account or adding me as an approved provider through YG to Canada Life, so that my clients who value this service can have choice, can have access to my services, and have coverage. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. If you have any further questions, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer them.